Here's your lesson 7, part 2, or lesson 2 notes, example number 2. We kind of got cut off there, so I just wanted to make sure I covered everything on example A here. Example A on part 3, so it was no, and the reason why was 35 degrees is not congruent to 30. If you look, these are the corresponding angles. They have to match for similar figures, or for figures to be similar. So the proof would just be that 35 degrees does not equal 30 degrees. The angles are not labeled, but I could also say, like, if this were angle D and this one were angle H, I could say D is not congruent to angle H. Part B. So if we look at part B, remember there are two things you have to prove again. You have to prove all angles are congruent, and you have to prove all sides are proportional. So if I look at this one, the angles are covered. We have A is congruent to X, B is congruent to Y, and C is congruent to Z. So I know all of those angles are congruent, so it's kind of like, okay, we got angles, congruent, check. We're good there. Angles are congruent. Now let's check if the sides are proportional. For this one, I just kind of read left to right like a book, so I'm going to go big over small. I'm going to take corresponding sides and I'm going to make a ratio. Remember, a ratio is just a fraction. So if I look here, this is side AB. Okay. So for side AB, I look and its length is 10. So I'm going to put 10 over the corresponding side from the other triangle, or the small triangle, and that would be the 5. So it would be 10 over 5, and remember we said we're doing big over small. Now that should be equal to every other ratio we have. So if I look at this bottom line, BC, got that circled, BC matches with YZ. There's two ways to tell. For one, it's the longest side of this triangle and the longest side of that triangle, so that's 1. Also the tick marks. This has 2 tick marks and the other side has 3. So if I go to the R shape, this has 2 tick marks and our side has 3. So it must be talking about these two sides, BC and YZ. So BC is 14, that's big, over small is 7, and let's quick do the last one. It's this AC is 12, goes with XZ is 6, so 12 over 6. If I reduce all of these down, I get 2, or if I divide them, 10 divided by 5, I get 2, 14 divided by 7, I get 2, 12 divided by 6, I get 2. Okay, so I get 2, 2, and 2. Now, if they were flipped, the ratio would be 1/2, 1/2, 1/2. So if you did it that way, it's just fine. So the proof is that angles are congruent, and then right here, we would say that all ratios of the sides are proportional, not congruent. Okay, they're proportional. So I know these are all 2's, but these are all proportional. They look different. They're different fractions. They reduce down to 2. So we say all ratios are proportional. So this is a yes. Okay. On to the final example, example 3. We're going to use similarity to solve a few problems here. Okay, for example 3, it says given that JKLM is similar to PQRS, find the following values. Okay, this one does not involve angles, but we would know like angle J is equal to angle P, angle K is equal to angle Q. It goes on based on the order. But this also helps because JK, and I'm not kidding, for real, JK goes with PQ. Those sides should be proportional if these figures are similar. And it says they are similar, so that means they are proportional. We're going to use the side JM though. Notice JM is the first and last. Okay, so JM, we're going to use my little Darth Vader pen. This is side JM just because it's red. That goes with, and you can tell in the picture, it goes with PS. But if you look here, JM is first and last, and PS is first and last. So I know for sure those are 2 that go together. So I'm going to make a proportion. I'm going to do X over 6. So the one in red, I'm going to do X over 6. Notice I used the side from the big shape first. That's what's on top, big over small. So x over 6, and then I got to find a side another side that's proportional, preferably with two numbers since I don't want two variables. So I look here, side ML, traced in purple, goes to side SR. So that's my proportion. I have to do big over small because I did x over 6 and x came from the big side. So 15 has to go on top. And oops, sorry, that should be a 15 over 9. All right, once we have the proportion, then we just cross multiply to solve. So we got x times 9 is 9x. 6 times 15 equals 90. Then divide both sides by 9, divide both sides by 9, and we get x equals 10. That's the length of that side. Now if I put it back in, I can actually plug it in here for x, and I should be able to do 10 divided by 6. I'll get a number in my calculator, 15 divided by 9. Those should be the same number. Or I can cross multiply. 10 times 9 is 90, and 6 times 15 is 90. So I did my algebra right. Okay, B asked for side QR. So QR is over here. Got a yellow highlighter. And that would go with side KL. Okay, just because I use big over small, I'm going to continue with that. I'm going to use the same ratio, this 15 over 9, in my next problem to solve for QR, though. I'm going to do 15 over 9, so that's big over small, equals 8 has to go on top because it comes from the big shape, over QR, and let's call that Y. All right, so 9 times 8 is 72, and 15 times Y is 15Y. Okay, and then we divide both sides by 15. Okay, and I get Y equals 4.8, or QR. Remember that was the side length per QR, so QR is 4.8.